Welcome students. So today we are going to cover the last part of the spreadsheet application, that is the LibreOffice calc, which is the most interesting and also the most important part of the entire application because it is something that is really interesting to learn and very fascinating as well. Okay. So this is the last part, and with this we are going to end up with the spreadsheet application, and then we are going to start with the DBMS software, which is also another chapter which is very important for your exam point of view. So without wasting any further time, let us just begin with today's topic for the calc, and that is macros. What exactly are macros? So we are going to learn about macros, and macros are basically a sequence of commands that we record it, or we can also code it. Code means we can actually do the programming. Now, considering the syllabus, we are not really going to code a lot of things. Few things I will just show you how to write few lines of codes, but I'm going to show you how to record a macro. And why we need to do all this is because when we have a lot of repetitive work to do in a spreadsheet application, in that case, we need a macro, because a macro will basically help us to do the repetitive job automatically. Okay. And I'm going to explain this entire thing with an example. Now, let us take an example, and this is the spreadsheet application in front of you. And in this particular application, you can see that these are the students' name and the subjects, and there is a total which I need to calculate the total. And also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to calculate the percentage as well. Fine. This is the work that I need to do. Now, what happens is this particular, you need to assume that these are the marks of the students of class 10th A. You have to just, we are assuming it. And you can see that below, these are the sheets, that is for 10th A, this is for 10th B, 10th C, 10th D, E and F. And what I've done is I've just copied the same thing and I pasted everywhere. So let us assume that these are all different marks for different students. Okay, though they are same names, same marks, but as I've just copied and pasted it, it is just an example. Let us assume that this is for 10th A, this is for 10th B, C, D, E and F. Now I have this spreadsheets, the sheets of different sections of class 10, and for every class I need to calculate the total and the percentage, and I need to also do some kind of formatting so that it looks good. Okay, so this is the work that I need to do. So obviously I'm going to start with entering the formulas, then calculate the percentage, and then I'm going to change some colors and all that. But then this is, I'm doing it for class 10th A, but then I need to do it for 10th B, 10th C, 10th D. So I'm going to do that repetitive work for every other class, right? That is a repetitive job that I need to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with another solution that is going to save my time. So the main purpose of a macro is saving time and getting the job done quickly. That's the main purpose of a macro. So how to record a macro? So first thing that we are going to do is recording a macro. And when we say a recording, it doesn't mean like, we are actually just like what we do, a record a video. It's not like recording a video or something. It is just that all the actions that you are going to perform in this particular Excel sheet, it is going to, record those commands. All the actions, commands that you're going to perform, it is going to record that, and the same actions and commands, then we can use it for the other sheets as well. Okay, now how to do that? The first thing is I'm into 10th A and I go to tools. The first thing is, if you have the LibreOffice at your home, and you click on tool and click on the macros, go to the macros, and there is an option called as record macro. Okay, now if you do not find this option, that is a record macro, what you need to do is go to the same option, that is tools, and there is a macro, and at the last there is an option called as options. Okay, click on that, and over here there is an option that is advanced. Okay, and you can see that enable macro recording. Okay, so you need to tick this. If it is unticked, you need to tick this and click on OK. That is what you need to do. Apply and OK. Fine. After you do that, you click go to tools, go to macros, and now you will see the option that is record macro. Now what we will do is we are going to choose the option that is a record macro, and moment I choose that option, a small window is going to appear. You can see out here, this is the macro, and now whatever actions or commands you're going to perform in this particular sheet, it is going to get recorded. Okay, so it's not like video recording or timing is going on, something of that sort, nothing of that sort. It's just that commands will be recorded. So you can just keep this small window, and it says record macro, and there is an option called as stop recording. So once we are done with the sheet, we're done with every formatting that we do, we're going to click on stop recording. As if now I'm going to keep this aside over here, and now I'm going to perform my work. So this is for class 10th A. The first thing I'm going to do is going to do the calculations. So now please understand that do not use the functions, like we have the sum function. Okay, that doesn't get recorded. So what we are going to do is, if I need to have this total without the sum function, so I will say equal to, and then I choose this particular cell, and then type in the plus sign, select the second cell, plus, and then for science, for social, and for computer, and you can see equal to sign, then B2 plus C2 plus D2 E2 F2 and G2, and press enter. Okay, and then I can drag the same formula. We have that small handle out here. Using that you can have the same formula for all other cells. This is a relative referencing, isn't it? So this total is out here, then the second marks total is out here, and so on. So that was the first action that I performed, and then what I will do is I will also calculate the percentage. So I will say equal to, and then select this total, and then divide by 6, since there are 6 subjects, and then again I'm going to use that handle, drag it to the other cells as well. Okay, and we have this 48.33. this is a long floating number, so I'll just give a right click, go to cells. Okay, you need to go to cells, that is out here. Okay, format cell, and go to numbers, then go to numbers, from under numbers tab, go to number, and for the decimal place, choose 2 decimal place, click OK, and you can see now there are only 2 decimal places. Okay, so this was the first thing, and this was the second thing that we performed. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some change the look of this particular Excel sheet. So I'm going to select this, and go over here, take this color that is a gray, and this one I'm going to take some lighter one, and this is what I have come up with. Okay, so this is the formatting that I did. I entered some formulas, did some calculations, right? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say stop recording. The moment I click on stop recording, it is going to, a window is going to appear in front of you. Then under the module, okay, you can give some name, so like macro name, and I'm going to give the name, and the name that I'm going to give is my formatting. That's the name, and click on save. Don't give any space. Okay, my space formatting, don't give any space. Now this is the work that I did for class 10th A. Now I will go to 10th B, and I have to perform the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to tools, go to macros, and then there's an option called as run macro. You can just click OK out here, and then a window will appear. Then there will be something called as library my macros. So double click onto that, and there is a folder that is standard. Double click onto that as well, and there is a one more folder inside that, that is module 1. The moment you give a single click, you can see all your macros out here. Now I just created a macro with the name that is my formatting. Can you see this? That's my formatting. That was the name that I gave to my macro. So I select that and click on run. And the moment I click on run, you can see even the same kind of formatting, got applied to class 10th B as well. So I can easily do this for class 10th C as well. Go to macro, run, and the same thing is going to happen. Double click over here, double click, click, and then my formatting will run. And you can see this is actually saving a lot of time. Imagine this is just a small bit of formatting that I did, but if there is a lot of work to be done for one particular sheet, and the same amount of the same work you have to do for the another sheet which is of the same format, imagine this is going to save so much of time, isn't it? So I'm going to do this for 10th D as well. That is my format. Then let us do it for 10th E, and we are going to do that for the last as well, that is 10th F. Okay, run the macros. So it's so easy to get the job done. My formatting, that's it. Imagine, just remember one thing, that whatever the range that was you selected, or since there were only 7, so it got applied to 7, so it is going to be, the same range is going to get applied for the other sheets as well. So it is possible that you have more students out here, so it will not work for that. So that we need to take care of. Okay, so remember that. So this is actual working of a macro which helps you to save a lot of time. Okay, now how to use a macro as a function. Now this is a bit more complex, so please watch it very carefully. How to use a macro just like a function. For example, we have a function equal to sum, which is a the calc function, right? Which will do this summation. I want to write my own function, like something like my function, and it should do some work for me. Okay, so for that, what we are going to do is we're going to write a macro, and we're going to use that as a function. Okay, so how to do that? Now for that, what you need to do is you have to go to tools, then go to macros, then edit macro or organize macro. Okay, you can go to organize macro and go to the first option, that is the basic. And over here it will ask you which all edit you want to do the editing part. You just select the module, and you can select any of the macro, click on edit, and this is going to you know redirect you to another window. Okay, so you can see this is another window that got opened, and this is the sheet that we have, the workbook, and this is the new window that got opened. And what is this? This is actually a coding. Okay, these are codes, that these are the basic codes. Name of the language is basic. So basic code, that's the programming language, basic. Okay, and these are the codes, and what you did just now, even all that is in form of a code. I will just show you, that was the formula that you applied was the sum formula. It might be somewhere. Okay, and right now I'm going to delete all this. I'm going to show you how to use this. Okay, uh, that was the previous work that I did, and okay, this is a long code that you have, and whatever you have done, even that is in form of a code actually. Okay, so anyway, it's not, I'm not able to locate that, but it's there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to write our own function. How to do that? See, there is a something called as sub and main, and then there is end sub. Okay, don't do anything out here. In fact, you just come at the top of the screen, that is at line number 2 where there is blank. Okay, just come, press enter, and then make some space for yourself. Okay, now what I will do, I will write a simple function. And how to do that? Type the word function, that is capital F. Now this seems to be very small. I will just try to customize. Let me see if I can increase the all commands 25% and then 150 keyboard 150. Press OK. Just a minute. Options and fonts, and then I can choose this as 20. Click OK. Okay, now it is the bigger font you have. Now it is quite visible. Okay, now there are a lot of code out here. Do not do anything out here, otherwise it is going to create a problem. Come at the top. Okay, just at line number 2, make some space, leave this particular line, and after that you can just make some space. And over here, now I have typed function and the alphabet F is capital, and then I will say my underscore, don't use dash, okay, the minus sign, hyphen, use underscore, or don't do anything, just say my message, or use this as capital M, message, my message, that's it. And then you have to say end function. That is also very important. Now this is, we are doing a kind of a programming. Okay, and I will simply say my message and opening and closing bracket, and the message will be hello world. So this hello world is the message that will be when I use this function in the Excel sheet. So it is going to enter this value into my cell, into the cell. Okay, so I'm going to click on save. There's a save option, Control plus S. Okay, go to my Excel sheet, and now I'll say equal to my message, and opening and closing, press enter. The moment you press enter, you can see that message hello world appeared in that particular cell. So this is how you can write your own function, and then you can use that, that is actually a macro that you create, and you use that as a function over here. Okay, my message. So this is how to work with it. Now what I will do is I will write one more function. Let us write one more function. I will write one more. So after the end function, come to the next line, and I will say again a new function, and I will say square. So this square will basically square a number, and I say optional x. That's the syntax. Syntax means rule. Okay, you have to follow this rule. End function. Okay, it's a capital F. Please remember all this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say square, and don't give opening and closing over here. Just say equal to x into x. So x is a number, and they're going to generate square of it. So that will be x into x, right? So what I have to do right now is just click on save, and now I go to my sheet and I say equal to square, and I pass the number 2. So what will, what should I get? The square of 2, that will be 4, and you can see the number 4 out here. If I can use that, pass that value of a cell. For example, I can pass the value of this particular cell. So the moment I click, you can see that is B2. So that value of B2 will be passed the moment I press enter, and you can see that's 2025, that's 45 into 45, right? So this is how you can use a function and pass the value to a function. So I hope this activity is very much clear to you. It is a bit complex but very, very interesting. And this is how we have written the functions. Okay, this was the first function and this was the second function. And then at the last we also have the sorting technique. So I can delete this, and that macros, those functions are already there. Okay, do not worry, you can use this now. Now I will also do, what will I do is I will record another macro for sorting. Okay, so I go to 10th A and I select the range, then go to, okay, before I do that, click on tools, click on macros and record a macro. So I'm recording another macro for sorting of a number, of sorting a range, and then we can apply that sorting to other sheets as well. So I select this range now and click on the data, first option, that is sort, and from the first drop down select, I want to sort this with total. Okay, so I see these are the headings that it is showing automatically. The student name, English, Hindi, Maths, automatically it will show. So I'll go for total, and this should be in descending order. Okay, click on OK. So you can see that's the biggest total, then the second biggest, third biggest, fourth biggest, and so on. And now what will I do is stop the recording, and now I'll give the name to this is my sorting macro. Okay, click on save. Now I go to 10th B and I can apply the same sorting to other sheets as well. So tools, then macros, run macro, then under macro standard, and that is my sorting macro, that's out here, and you can see that sorting will apply to the range, that particular range. Okay, so please remember that range that I selected, the macro will be applied only to that particular range for of the other sheets as well. Okay, so this is the whole chapter, children, and hope it is very much clear to you. Please rewind the video, watch it one more time if it's not clear, because this is a bit complex. Now children, this is the chapter. That's all that we have in calc, and now we're going to start with the DBMS. After DBMS, we're going to finish that, and these are the most important chapters that we have covered. That is the writer, the calc, and the DBMS, and the web application. That was the chapter that I started, at the very beginning. Okay, so various web applications, all that we have taken. And other than this, I told you that there is only 10 marks of theory for employability skills, green skills. So please, I would request you to please go through those chapters, and there is also an English grammar part. Go through those chapters. You can go for the self study, but 40 marks is what is very important, and the weightage of 40 marks is related to writer, calc, and the DBMS. Okay, so that is what we are covering, and we're going to start with the DBMS, and we will finish that as well. Rest, children, I would request please start just small abbreviations, definitions you need to remember for the rest of the 10 marks. Okay, so that's it for today. So next time again I will record the video for the DBMS. Bye for now.